on as well. Let me tell you what's going on. Morning, everyone. Over the past decade, spending with the big grocers has risen. So for every £1 that we spend in retail, 58 pence of it is spent in supermarkets. Now, no surprise when you think about how much they've diversified over the years. And this week, there's even more of that going on. Just want to show you a couple of them. As well as announcing a 7% drop in its annual profits, Morrison said yesterday that it's in talks with Ocado, the online retailer. It's keen to share resources before it launches its own delivery service next year. On Wednesday, in a surprise move, Tesco announced it had bought the family restaurant chain Giraffe, as well as taking over the 48 sites. Tesco outlined its plans to open more Giraffes near existing supermarkets. It says it wants to create retail destinations for its customers. And finally, rumours have filled the newspapers about Asda launching a last-minute bid to save up to 2/3 of HMV's remaining stores. Now, it was reported the supermarket could rebrand the entertainment zones, and it has in its biggest stores as mini HMV shops. But as yet, we've got no comment from Asda on that. So let's have a quick chat now to Julian Rowell, who is from Bradford University School of Management. Good morning to you. Just tell us a bit about what's going on, first of all, with Tesco buying Giraffe. Very unusual for a supermarket to look into buying restaurants, isn't it?
Well, I'm not sure it is, because Tesco is almost competing with itself at the moment. It's developed this huge online presence. That's taking share away from its supermarket. It needs to do things to actually get people back into the supermarkets. So if you look at the United States at the moment, people go supermarket shopping and then they go out to eat. Tesco's doing the same thing.
But a lot of the Giraffe sites are out on high streets. So do you think they'll be turned into mini Tesco's with a restaurant element? How do you think it'd work?
I think they might do that, but I could see Tesco more taking Giraffes and putting them in some of their big out-of-town stores and really creating a proper destination.
And Morrison's with Ocado, they're not buying up Ocado, but more sharing resources with them.
Well, Morrison's has really got to get in on the game on online, so it's the last of the big four to get into that. And taking a share or having a cooperation with Ocado gets them the technology and the distribution and gets them it fast.
Are they managing to catch up? Because Morrison's has kind of been behind the times a bit with online, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think Morrison's has always sort of seen itself as the, if you like, the artisan supermarket, doing a lot of fresh, but it's seen that unless it has a big online presence, it's simply going to fall behind, because online's growing around 20% a year at the moment. So if you're one of the big four and you're not in online, then you're behind the game.
And talking of the big four, it's really competitive, isn't it, between the supermarkets at the moment?
Yeah, it very much is. And I think the whole thing that supermarkets are having to do is, I mean, on the one hand, it's good to be supermarkets because we all need food. On the other hand, they've got to keep reinventing themselves because they've got to give us reasons to go to them rather than simply to buy online.
OK, Julian, well, thanks for your time this morning. That's it from me for now. I'll be back a bit later on.
Oh, Steph, thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's see time now, 6:54. 3 teams of injured servicemen and women from around the world are training for an international race across Antarctica in aid of Prince Harry's charity, Walking with the Wounded.
Yes, it's an amazing expedition. They've been in Iceland getting a first taste of what to expect. Our security correspondent, Frank Gardner, has been to meet them.
It feels like the end of the earth. A mountain blizzard in western Iceland. Where better to train for one of the toughest challenges of their lives, a race across Antarctica.
1 minute you think you're going good, and then next minute a nice big blast comes in and blows you over. It's pretty intense.
3 teams of servicemen and women will be competing from the US, Britain and the Commonwealth. Everyone here has suffered life-changing injuries in combat. They've been shot, blown up, burned and traumatized. The charity behind this venture is Walking with the Wounded, patron Prince Harry. Unable to walk after my own gunshot injuries 9 years ago, I went to see them training.
This tearing wind and sub-zero temperatures here in Iceland are exactly the testing ground that these injured servicemen and women need before they take on the hazards of the Antarctic and the coming race to the South Pole.
Many of the wounded are amputees. This US soldier is totally blind. For him and many others, this is their first time ever on skis.
The problem's it's just the wind and the skiing, and also people have never skied before, and the amputee guys, I think they're just getting used to finding the feet on skis and different things are hard, coming to terms with everything.
Any second thoughts?
None at all, Frank, none at all.
In these conditions, it helps them to remember why they're doing this.
Being able to raise awareness of wounded soldiers and there's charities such as Walking with the Wounded Soldier On and the like that provide avenues for the public to get behind their wounded soldiers.
Iceland is a tough environment, but the Antarctic will be tougher still. The 12 team members finally selected can expect conditions that make this feel like a walk in the park. Frank Gardner, BBC News, Iceland.
Remarkable achievement, that
Yeah,
will be.
very good luck to them.
My word.
Coming up on the programme today, we're going to look at the possible legal changes that will